have no idea why I'm pushing record right now. I was just having my coffee in the kitchen, listening and dancing to music like I normally do. And I just had this wave of gratitude for this process, for this journey, for this remembrance, and against all of my Libra tendencies. I did not want to hit record with no makeup on and no eyebrows and all the things, right? But I know this message is for someone. Maybe it's just for myself, but a deep level of gratitude for this journey. Um, and I think we've all probably cried enough tears in silence. This time I'm crying for a different reason because I know if you've been following me for a while, especially on the podcast, I remember in 2000 and maybe 13, spiritually guided to go to a hotel conference in San Francisco for Louise Hay, which I didn't know that that's what it was for. I thought it was for book publishing and learning how to write a book. And long story short, there were so many synchronicities that literally Spirit was guiding me to this event, which I share in the podcast. I'm not going to go into that now. But one thing that I was just reminded of in my kitchen when I started to have this wave of gratitude and reverence for this journey was when I stood in front of the mirror doing the Louise Hay mirror exercises in the hotel room, and I was not able to look myself in the mirror and say, I love you, without just so much pain building up behind my eyes, just welling up with tears and not knowing why. There was so much buried hurt and pain and betrayal and trauma and guilt and shame and self-loathing. And to come the full circle and know that I'm not broken and the damaged goods that I used to believe and buy into, and to come full circle in that through this process of alchemy and transformation. To be able to dance in my kitchen fully in love with myself and my body and fully confident in my own skin for no reason, and be able to dance and cry, not because I'm broken, not because I was damaged goods, not because I'm not good enough or not worthy, but because I am and I always have been. And it's that realization on this journey that fuels my mission and my devotion to showing up as often as I'm called to shine the light of remembrance and reclamation for others, to be the sacred mirror for those that are still that girl that looks into the mirror and can't see her divine truth and her divine worthiness, her innate worthiness. And I'm not gonna lie, obviously, there's no masks right now, right? Like, this was a painful fucking journey. There was a lot of suffering. There was a lot of, there was a lot of losing myself in this process. There was so much to unwind. And there was so much conditioning to break free from. There was so much illusion to see through that I'm not going to say it was easy. This path isn't for the faint of heart. It's a wild fucking ride, and it will take you to the depths of your darkness. It'll take you to the depths of your fears. It'll take you to the depths of your shadow. All the little pieces and places and cracks and crevices within you where you are still not unified within and lacking that integration. And like I said, I'm not going to say that this journey was wasn't difficult, and I'm not saying it's over. There's so much to expand into now that I'm free and that I know my divine worth and my worthiness, and I'm anchored in my sovereignty, and I don't need any external validation outside of myself. There is such a freedom in that the expansion that is now I am now experiencing and allowing myself to receive without guilt or shame. I was so closed off to that years ago, over a decade ago, right? This was 2012, 2013. This is being recorded right now in 2025. So this is 12 years of 12, 13 years, I don't know, do the math, of deep alchemy and transformation since my Kundalini awakening over 12 years ago. But even before that, for the 4 or 5 years leading up to that, there was so much deep transformation happening with a lot of death that I was dealing with in my life that cracked me wide open before the Kundalini awakening, and then that was even like 7 years before the twin flame catalyst. So all that said, I don't think enough is shared about what is really required to fully be anchored and embodied in your divinity when you have been conditioned for lifetimes to believe that you are not enough, to believe that you're not good enough, silenced, shamed, controlled, manipulated. And the truth still remains that you are not broken. I was never broken. It was just an identity that I bought into, and the conditioned patterns are real. The conditioned patterns are part of the human condition. Those patterns need to be unwound, but not through identifying with them anymore. By shining the light of your awareness on them. Because one of the things coming up right now is it's really easy to get trapped on this never-ending healing journey where you can be healing for the rest of your life and take this to your grave, always feeling like there's something else within you to fix, always something for you to, heal within yourself. And that's not to say healing doesn't occur on this journey. It does, but you're not broken. Healing turns into just alchemy in the moment of you not buying into the false lies anymore and them losing their grip on you. The body will do all of its unwinding naturally, organically, and intuitively during this process. That's why you will be called to sacred practices and embodiment work and somatic movements and breath work and yoga and all the things, because your body is unwinding the conditioning, but you and are not broken. So it's an honor. It's very humbling to be in a position as a leader of this new paradigm to shine the light for others. And there's so much love and gratitude and reverence in my heart for this entire process. Just very emotional right now, and the coming full circle is part of, if not all of the reason I do what I do, is because I'm here to be an example that everything you've bought into that told you weren't good enough or lovable or worthy or sacred or holy or divine is a motherfucking lie that you don't have to buy into anymore. And there's a purification process on this journey that ensues as you walk this path. Because even after self-realization occurs and you are realized in your divine nature, I can say the purification process only speeds up in my experience. It's like rapid fire alchemy, because the frequency that you're embodying is rising so high that any distortion in your body, in your cells, in your bones, in your energy field, like, can no longer survive. And it goes fighting, kicking and screaming, as long as you're attached, as long as you're, attached to the the uh the egoic mind as your sense of identity. You can create a lot more suffering on this journey than necessary. So I'm not projecting that everybody's path is going to sound like mine. And I have a lot more to share on that, even how Divine Femme was birthed through me, um, and how it was birthed out of the darkest moment of my life. And it gives a really strong testament to this process of death and rebirth. Divine Femme that has been birthed through me as my living legacy, that I'm growing and expanding every single day by showing up as me, for you, for us, for the collective. Um, Divine Femme was birthed through the ashes. It was birthed through the transformative process, and it was birthed through the darkest time of my life, which I will share more on if that is interesting to you. And I know I'm guided to anyway. So I guess whether you like it or not, you'll probably hear about it if you tune into these messages, whether it's here or on the podcast, because that is the overarching message here, is that it doesn't matter how dark it gets. There's always light. And if you are resonating with this and you're on this path, that light is creeping in every little crevice where you have been broken open. So I was not prepared to go live right now. My coffee is getting cold, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere other than right here recording this right now. But like, seriously, I'm not even really dressed. Like, I don't even think I have a bra on, and this is a see-through shirt, but luckily you can't see above my neckline. So So there you go. Full transparency and authenticity over here. The thing that got me to press record on this was because I just felt like there's so many women that need to know right now, regardless of where you're at on this heart opening process, the descent into your embodiment, the self-realization, awakening, and ascension process, the deep, dark death and rebirth, the dark night of the soul, the purification that ensues after that, the fully aligning with your mission and your purpose, and quantum leaping into your highest divine timeline, all of it. Regardless of where you're at on the timeline, this may resonate with you on some level, and that's why I was guided to share it. But the intention that was coming through that I heard very loudly was you need to go record. You need to go record, because I was having all of these downloads come through and needed to be shared, because someone out there needed to hear this and may resonate with a piece of this, that you will come full circle on this journey. You will come full circle on this journey, and even in your darkest moments, there is light, and that is what is. And those those betrayals, those abandonments, those events that broke your heart wide open, is allowing the light to enter you, so you no longer seek external validation outside of yourself, and you can be the sovereign, free soul embodied in your divinity that you are. And you can look into the mirror and you can love yourself in all your messiness and all of your imperfections, because you don't need anything or anyone outside of yourself, because you're so connected to the truth of who you are and the love that you are. And I know this message may have like some kind of sad overtone to it because I'm crying, but it's just because I'm touched on such a deep level. It's really not sadness, it's gratitude for this process and humility for the role that I play in helping others in big ways and small ways. Souls I may never meet. Some are in containers with me. Some are on the other side of the globe in silence, listening to this podcast episode or watching this YouTube video. And I may never know your name. And that's fine too. That's beautiful. And so this message goes out to the ethers right now for anyone that may be listening to this now or in the years to come, regardless of where this finds you on your journey. You will come home to yourself on this journey. You will come full circle, and you will be able to fully be embodied in your divine worthiness and confidence and your sovereignty. And you will open to receive without the guilt, without the shame, without the resistance, without the sabotage. And you will become magnetic to everything that is meant for your highest and greatest good as you continue to come home to yourself. And you will align with your soul's calling and your purpose easily and effortlessly. You won't be able to escape it. You can't escape it. It's your calling. It's your soul's calling. This isn't even a decision you made, was it? It never was a decision. In fact, you probably tried to run from it many, many, many times, and it just keeps calling. If it's your true calling, it doesn't go away. It only gets louder. And everything that you've grown through, everything that you've alchemized, everything that you're um, you know, transmuting on this journey and purifying on this journey is part of your leadership, is part of your role as an embodied way shower, as a leader, however that looks for you. None of this goes to waste. Everything that has transpired on this journey and unfolded perfectly. And in true gratitude, looking back, I would not change a thing. Even the deepest, darkest trenches, the deepest valleys, the most excruciatingly painful and, you know, uh, periods of feeling lost in the void, losing yourself completely, the whole death and rebirth process and ego death, which if you've gone through that, you know that when you come out the other side of that, you are reborn and you don't regret any of that, even though you went through like existential crisis mode, right? Yeah. There was a period, it was also coming up like during that phase of going through the dark night of the soul and the ego, like all I wanted to do was cry. And I would cry on my nature walks. I would cry spontaneously all the time. I would cry in the grocery store. And it was just a release and a purification. And I, and there was still a lot of sadness and a lot of lower density frequencies being purified. And that's going to happen as you open up to receive and embody the higher frequency, which you already are. You're just kind of purging everything that's not that. That's not your true frequency. So I feel like this is complete. I hope it resonated with whoever it needed to resonate with it. And if you resonate with this transmission, I welcome you to follow along. You can subscribe to Divine Femme TV on YouTube. You can follow the podcast and subscribe over there at the Calling Uncensored. Um, you'll be able to access this in either place. And I think that's it for now. Until next time, I hope this finds you well. Namaste.